Thank you, sir. May I invite Sri N.L.Rajah, Senior Counsel, to offer his felicitation.
Malai Vanakkam. Honorable Mr. Justice Manindra Shrivastava, Honorable Judges of the Madras High Court, Mr. Justice M. Sundar, Mr. Justice R. Suresh Kumar, Dr. Justice Anita Suman, Mr. Justice N. Senthil Kumar, Mr. S. Prabhakar, Mr. P.S. Amalraj, Mr. A.R.L. Sundaran, Station Senior Advocates, Mr. Hassan Mohammed Alina, Mr. Edwin Prabhakar, Karthikeyan, and all the eminent and distinguished members of the stage and on the stage. Respected, I thank the Bar Council of Tamilnadu and Puducherry giving me an opportunity to felicitate the Honorable Chief Justice on the event of his being sworn in as the 50th of the Madras High Court. Sir, when you were sworn in, Madras High Court not only became a part of the rich tradition, customs, heritage of glorious institution, but was actually anointed to lead us all in our ceaseless journey to add honor and glory to the name and reputation of this. The 54th Chief Justice computation, that is to reach the number 54, reckoning is from the first Chief Justice of the Court of Madras, Sir Thomas Strange, portrait adorns your court, and who gently milestone on the proceedings on a day-to-day basis. Computing from that time, that is from 20 December 18, Court of Madras was established. This system, which we adopted and under which we function, turns 205 years on 26. So I hope that the Bar Council will organize a quasi-centenary manner on that occasion. I'm sure you will be presiding over. Sir, you may wonder what glory and greatness of frequent. Let me just draw your attention to a few facts which are by no means positive, but are indicating the greatness of this and the very many firsts that did it. The first trial by jury here does involving the murder of her enslaved servant is the first trial anywhere in India. And whenever I'm talking about India, sir, observe that I include Bangladesh and Pakistan. The first on Hindu law was written by Spain, as is commonly, but by Sir Thomas Strange. This title, The Elements of Hindu Law, and Sir Christopher Rawlinson was the CJI of the Supreme Court at Madras, and he was the first Vice Chancellor of the University in 18. Actually, he was responsible for establishing the Madras University in 1850. Raja T. Rama Rao, Raja is a title which is by the British to him. T. Rama Rao was the first Vakil to be enrolled in the High Court in 1907, much before Vakils were permitted to practice appellate side in Bombay and Calcutta. First Vakil in the High Court in any part of India. The first legal journal, a periodical dedicated to law, was formed in 1891 and which is the Madras Law Journal. In fact, it is the first private legal journal recognized under the Law Journals Reporting Act. The Madras High Court building, when it was inaugurated in 1892, it is the second largest court complex in the world. Because at that point of time, sir, All Causes building was also the High Court. So it was the second largest complex in the world. The first Indian to be appointed an advocate general, acting advocate general, was Sri Bhashe Iyengar in 1899. Sri S. Subramania Iyer was the first Indian to be appointed as the Vice Chancellor of Madras University in 1904. He was also the first person to announce a knighthood, return a knighthood, which he did in 1917, 2 years before Rabindranath Tagore returned his knighthood after the Jallianwala Bagh. Every historian talks about Rabindranath Tagore returning his knighthood, but nobody talks about Subramanian who returned 2 years even before Rabindranath Tagore returned. Madras High Court in recent times in 2006 has been the first High Court to introduce mediation to India and to set up mediation, train people all over the country. So this is a small list of the glorious editions of this learning, knowledge, and to innovation. Sir, the Madras High Court has enjoyed an enviable reputation as a storehouse of this knowledge and acumen. In his article, Five Doubtful Cases in Hindu Law from the Madras, published in 1964 MLJ, Dr. Duncan M. Brett, who was a professor of Oriental Laws, University in London, says, standard of the Madras High Court in matters of law is so high that it is generally accurate to say that if the High Court differs, as they so often, the student may take the Madras High Court judgments for his guide. The quality of research and reflection devoted to the subject by practitioners of Madras High Court has been consistently so high that it has rarely been possible to comment upon a Madras decision in any terms but those of praise. Clarity of the judgments, the quality of the language, and the completeness of acquaintance, the authorities are not excelled elsewhere and not frequently. That is an encomium made by a professor in London of practitioner at skill and advocacy cannot be placed in a straitjacket. I would request you, sir, follow what Rajamandar, who is a very, very respected of the Madras High Court and was a justice of the Madras High Court. Yes, it is said that he even refused an elevation to the court. Please see how closely he has followed the legal qualities and the skills of advocates here in Madras. He says, I had not the good fortune of personal knowledge of these giants, but I can speak from knowledge of the scintillating brilliance of Srinivasa Iyengar, the sledgehammer assertiveness, encyclopedic knowledge of case laws of Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyer, the illuminating lucidity of S. Varadacharya, the meticulous thoroughness of Venkata Subbarao, the spacious fluency of L. Govindacharya, the vigorous persistence of Swami, and the method and industry of Anandakrishna, the majestic sweep of Venkata, pace and literary flair of V.V. the cross-examining skill of Nugent Grant, the learned equanimity of Ramarao, sharp ingenuity of K.S. Krishnaswamy, the condensation of Muthukrishna Iyer, the scholarship and culture of L. Venkatramana Iyer, the forthright bluntness of K.P.M. Menon, the persuasive flair of V.L. Litharaj, the quick grasp of Raja Iyer, cleverness of K. Bhashyam, caustic directness of Sastri, and my own father's love of law for its own. So if you had followed this, he has not repeated a single adjective, and every adjective is testimony to the skills of a lawyer who practiced in Madras High Court. And Lord, I close with these memorable words which your Lordship had also quoted. Lordship, at the time the keys were handed over to the Chief Justice of the Madras High Court, these are the words spoken by the Governor. And now, my Lord Chief Justice, I have pleasure in handing you the key as a token that the building has been entrusted to your hands by the government in full confidence that administration of justice will be carried out with the ability and integrity that has always marked the Madras High Court. My Lord, and to the other gentlemen who hold you with high position, judges of the High Court, and to those gentlemen who hold you with high position, to those gentlemen who occupy themselves in honorable, learned profession of law, in all your hands the administration safely lay. And we may look forward for many years to come with full knowledge and full satisfaction that the best years of your lives will be to carrying on one of the noblest works, the uninterrupted administration of justice. The key was received by His Lordship the Chief Justice, said solemnly, gravity. I fervently hope that long after you and I, your passed away to that undiscovered country of which we know so little, there may also continue to be found men of ability and courage who administer law in these courts without distinction, class, or race. Sir, taking charge of the Chief High Court, assures us once again that we have an inexhaustible supply of men of ability and courage who will administer the law in these courts, distinction of class, creed, or welcome to the Madras High Court, sir, and I hope you will have a very pleasant tenure here, cooperation from all of you. Thank you.